what is going on, all of you growers and smokers out there? Easy Breezy here, coming back with another video. And today, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to be talking about the shotgun chamber versus the monotub. And before we get into this video, let's give some shout outs. So shout out to Patreon supporter Michelle, and of course all the ones you see on screen right now. And of course another person that I met online playing today, Booty Flake. We were playing Among Us, and we were playing with somebody else too, but they wish to remain anonymous, so I totally respect that. So just shout out to him. We had a grand time. It's first time ever playing that game, so it was very, very fun. And with that, ladies and gentlemen, let's jump into the content. Alright, so before we begin, I've had a lot of questions about yield and how to get these pounds that some of these YouTubers are showcasing. On YouTube, you can go look up bulk mushrooms, and of course you can see all these people with pounds of mushrooms and stuff like that. And a lot of people email me asking how do I get them yields, and a lot of them who email me are new growers, and they literally want me to type out a step-by-step process. I'm sorry guys, but I'm not going to be typing out a step-by-step process, technically, because I don't have the time. Currently right now I have 398 messages or emails from you guys for the past 4 days that I haven't been able to get to because I've been working 40 hours these past 3 days alone, and it's been very, very hard catching up on sleep and everything like that. So it's been really hard to email everybody back, but I will do that today, Sunday, right now, 3:47 a.m. So I will be getting back to you guys today. So with that, let's just jump into this video. So first, let's start off with the monotub. Now the monotub, let's talk about the construction of it first. Is typically lined with a trash bag or plastic. You can just leave it bare on the bottom, but that will increase the likelihood of pinning on the sides of it, and it'll be very, very hard for you to pick out the mushrooms. Now also, they have typically around 4 holes. From this is what I construct. I usually have 4 holes, 2 on each of the width side, so that's the wider side of these tubs. And typically these holes are filled with polyfill. I have used micropore tape on them before, but they don't get that air exchange that monotubs are really known for. Monotubs have great FAE, and of course you guys don't know what FAE is. If you're new and you're just watching this now, I recommend you checking out the playlist that I continuously add to every week and watch the FAE video. I go in more depth of why FAE is so important in mycology. So typically the bulk substrate, which is mainly made out of a bulk recipe like cocoa coir, manure, straw, you know, stuff like that, which typically people pasteurize. You can pressure cook them too, and of course if you haven't seen that video yet, go ahead and check that one out too. You would use a substrate or a spawn substrate, maybe a grain, rye berries or grain, to colonize this bulk substrate that you would put in these monotubs here. The thing about this too is, I'm not trying to scare you guys out of using monotub or anything like that, but the chance of having a contam is slightly increased because you have extra steps. There's more room for error, such as you will have to pasteurize your bulk substrate or pressure cook it, and then you have to cut up your spawn and cut it into smaller pieces, mix it all in and stuff like that. So it's a slight chance of contaminated, but typically in my steps I don't think I've had one bulk substrate that's ever contaminated on me. But just know that there is an extra risk in doing this, and we'll get into the other side of that later on. Typically monotubs generally have a lower humidity, but it all really depends on where you put them and what part of the world you live in. That's just from different things that I've seen online. Now I really haven't had too big of a deal with humidity in my monotubs. Every now and then I will have to mist them, but it's not nearly like a shotgun chamber, which we will get into right now. So moving on to the shotgun chamber. So let's talk about how this is constructed, and I want to say I made a video on this too. So shotgun chambers are usually many holes along the side of them, maybe a quarter of an inch in diameter with them, and maybe 20 to 30 holes per side. Depends on the size of tub that you get, of course. And usually you would place a perlite barrier at the bottom, maybe 2-3 inches, and this will help increase the humidity of the tub. Now, usually for a shotgun chamber, you will use a substrate such as brown rice flour or a coffee ground substrate. You guys haven't seen that yet, but I haven't made a video yet. But yes, we could use coffee grounds as a whole substrate for growing these. You would fruit them in their cake form, and the benefit of doing this is if any one of those cakes become contaminated, then you can easily remove them and all of your other cakes will be fine, as opposed to a monotub where one section gets contaminated. It's probably, for the most part, a lost cause, because how quickly it can spread. You can try to scoop it out, but usually the contamination will begin inside the substrate, and once you notice it, it's pretty much gone. Now, one of the downsides of using a shotgun chamber is they have a low free air exchange, and typically you'll have to fan these maybe 3 to 4 times a day, and you will also mist them too. These holes, the small holes, usually aren't covered up with any tape or polyfill or anything like that, so small animals like fruit flies or ants could get into these and could contaminate one of the cakes or something like that easily too. So it's important to try to put it in a cleaner area, somewhere where there might be less chance of something like that getting into it. But typically shotgun chambers are used for beginners. They just like a foolproof way. You know, they could buy the BRF jars online, just inject them, wait till they colonize and throw them right into a shotgun chamber, and that's that. They don't have to worry about sterilizing any bulk substrates or anything like that. So I think that's going to wrap it up for this video, guys. There's probably some other things that I'm forgetting, but this is just a off the top of my head video here I'm making. If I remember, I'll keep this video in my YouTube folder and refer back to it later on, or I'll watch it back on YouTube or whatever, and see if I can add more. And if I can add more to these, I will make their own separate videos showcasing them in more depth if I can. And that's going to end this episode off here, guys. If you like this type of content, be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. And until next time, keep on growing, keep on smoking. And I'll catch you guys in the next episode. See you later.